Hello, I'm Steve Mason and welcome to the podcast for The Mask, the Jim Carrey mask, not the Cher mask. I'm about to press play right about now. Now, I did recently watch this on Blu-ray. I do have it on Laserdisc and still on VHS. Paul Ray, I didn't know what podcast to do. I was going to do Anaconda, but Paul Ray's just had a massive rant about the Ghostbusters house in A2. And I was like, isn't that also in The Mask? He's like, yeah, it's a car park scene. This is New Line production. The Mask's originally a horror. And I'm actually sitting here with the two graphic novels by Dark Horse Entertainment, which I'm going to flick through because the novels are totally different to the movie. They're not comedy in any way. Now, Jim Carrey had been around for a long time, but as a movie fan at the time, Ace Ventura and this dropped so quickly together, especially in the UK. That's a lovely matte painting, that. Jim Carrey became the next big thing. He was a fucking massive breakout star. Dumb and Dumber, Batman Forever followed, along with Cable Guy. I love Cable Guy as well. But yeah, it was a massive star. So we get The Mask of Loki. It's nothing to do with Tom Hiddleston. But yeah, I originally got this graphic novel. It's been battered. It's been around the world twice. I got this in New Zealand, in Auckland, a comic book shop. It's an original release one. It's not a reprint or anything like that. It has seen better days, but you know what? Had this a very, very long time. Font's very similar. Kept the font. The Mask is on the front cover, holding looks like a cream cake with a bomb on the top. The Mask in yellow. Went to see Meg last night. I've got much more to say about Meg. Give you a brief synopsis of the movie. The Mask used to be a different kind of superhero, shows you the dark comic book wrong, who's laughing now, as we get Stanley Ipkiss in his bank. So who laughing now is really, quickly brief the story. Stanley Ipkiss buys a mask from a pawn shop at the start of the book. Gets picked on, ends up getting beaten up, and he basically drives home thinking of revenge. I think the people who beat him up are the people he meets on the alleyway. He has a girlfriend. Catherine's his girlfriend in here. That he buys the mask for. The sexual scenes in here, and then he's screaming, like screaming. Guy in the background who just appeared there is an awesome comedian. What's his name? He unfortunately took his own life not long back. What's he called, man? His name's probably just been across the screen as well. Introducing Cameron Diaz. I mean, look at how big a star she's become now. Introducing her. It's on the edge of my tongue. It's on the fucking edge of my tongue, man. It'll not be on the box there because I don't think he's that top build. Richard Jenny. He has a really, really funny skit about Jaws, and if you can find it, he has about a rant about Michael Jackson, which is really funny. And as someone had said on the internet, like, because they both died, they cancel each other out, how bad it is. But yeah, he tries anyway. Back to the comic book. He tries this mask on his girlfriend's apartment and turns into the mask. Goes out, seeks revenge. That badly, he hits somebody with a baseball bat and blood splatting all across the page. He kills them all, blowing them up, shooting them with machine guns. He gets shot himself. There's blood splatting off the page, and he tortures the place. He's very psychotic. His girl, Stanley Ipkiss, is not a Jim Carrey character. He is very aggressive towards her. He's drinking. I'm sure as well he starts to become an own like commander, going around hitting his girlfriends. He seeks revenge on the car people who are in this movie as well. Kills them brutally, inserting kind of fucking car exhaust and stuff inside. Stands on school teachers, wears a very colourful yellow pants and all that. Even hits kids, you know what I mean. He's very grim, and as you flick through, he gets obsessed with the mask. He and the mask, he sort of kills loads of people. attacks people. The baddie gets involved, he gets shot, he falls off buildings. She works out that he's the killer. Let's quickly flick through here. Police get involved, he goes on an absolute wrecking spree, and she blows him away in his own bedroom, and she becomes the mask. From there we start to get, she tries to explain what's going on. Obviously this is where the lieutenant gets involved as well. He gets obsessed with the mask, his hand's being blown off, there's conspiracies, there's violence, there's blood splatting off the page. The balloon scene is not the Jim Carrey character that is in later on in the story. It's the police chief who does it. It's Cameron Diaz, and Jim Carrey just totally shot the she spies on the bank in the background. You get to see how vulnerable Jim Carrey is and how beautiful she is. Yeah, it becomes very psychotic. It becomes a clash between the girlfriend and the ex-boyfriend. Got a bit more of a swagger as well, the police chief. People start getting involved. It's quite a big graphic novel. She gets involved. And then we get the introduction of one of the characters who was predominantly in the comic book series. The big strong like Frankenstein guy who becomes his fighting with. There's no dog in this, there's no comical sidekicks. It goes on like track him down, the mob get involved. There's a hilarious bit where the mask's in scuba gear stalking somebody. As I say, just again it gets a bit more politics, more police handling, conspiracies. He gets shot really. She gets involved again. That big bad guy again, freeze, mister, smashes the face off the floor. I mean, smashes his face into a pulp oblivion. Bit of a court battle, more controversy, into the windows. He seeks revenge, pretty much a scene what you get to take out later on. He's quite a good actor, him there. He's in Usual Suspects as well. Carries it good as a bad guy. Like again, the mask takes on a car. He has one fight with the police, and basically by the end of the movie, because of all the death, he even kills people. He fakes his own death and basically buries the mask in his basement and concretes it down, and that's the end of the first novel. So yeah, how much does that not sound like the movie of Jim Carrey? As we get the gangsters here as well, burn the holes in his eyes. For the time as well, I think that the special effects are done really well. I mean, Son of Mask I do not own. I have seen it. I did think it was a little bit funny, but it was more that it was nothing compared to this. You know, The Mask was a massive hit. You know, cartoon series, video games. It was an icon for Jim Carrey. Just, you know, he didn't have time to slow down. Dumb and Dumber was a really good call. This is the Ghostbusters Firehouse here. You know, and next thing you know, he's the Riddler. If they're waiting, and then he did Ace Ventura, so you know what I mean. Ace Ventura was a sequel. If they just waited, yeah. So yeah, there's the Venkman and Spengler's fucking thing there. So yeah, it totally just looks like Ghostbusters now. Paul Rest said as well. All that came in was an oil change. I often talked about this before. My dad lives in New Zealand, works a lot of stuff on rally championship cars, and I pretty much grew up in a garage when I was a kid. My stepdad Morris can fix anything when it comes to cars, you know, Range Rovers, tractors and all that kind of stuff, and I just look at the car and go, I've got a flat tire. My mum must get, there's be a chamber deep side down your brain if it shakes loose. Like you'll be some kind of wizard. I was getting, no. Yeah, I hear a knocking, I hear a knocking. So the Coco Bonga, it's amazing looking venue. We have no nightclubs like that around here at all. There's like no waiting in lines anymore. Guest list and all that, waiting to get in and all that kind of thing. The loner. Even valet parking, you know what I mean? It's like, you turn to a club, you're going to drink. You know, you go to a club to drink, don't you? Yeah. Yeah. played really well this as well, how he gets turned away. Check out his jacket. There you go, that's a good tip in that there. He crossed the line. You crossed the line. No one crosses the line. Some funky ass jackets going on there, like. Paul raised the sentence. So the A team must be millionaires to take certain percentage of the companies they save from bad guys. So there's a whole A team. Jack's just sent us a message. I think Jack's predictive text has just gooned it. So anyways, Diaz again. Looking gorgeous. She went on, I think I remember she was in this and Life Less Ordinary. She just exploded on the scene as well. I seen her in Bad Teacher recently. She's quite funny in that. It's another film I had for ages and I finally got around to watching it. But she is obviously the Catherine character, possibly the Catherine character. Sorry, there's Stanley because the loner. It's a great comical time in here when he takes it out. God, look at the colours. This looks amazing on Blu-ray. I was really impressed by the colours, especially this scene. Again, it's that whole thing I bang on about the fucking, you know, blue, you know, the velvet blue kind of dark look. It looks lush, absolutely gorgeous. And that's one thing I was really impressed with watching it on Blu-ray. But since I say I got the Laserdisc in Prague, and I've had the VHS since I can remember having buying it. You know, it's one of me. It's entertainment video, so it's one of them ones where comes loaded with comments and all kinds of stuff on the back, same outline, little synopsis of the film, and just boatloads of just media and press, you know what I mean. But obviously Cameron Diaz has been added on the DVD. It wasn't available for a long time on DVD, and it's now it just comes with like a feathered hat. This is the 10-year anniversary I'm watching. It does come with a commentary, but it's a commentary with the director, Chuck Russell, Bob C, writer, executive producer, supervisor of special effects, animation supervisor, and cinematography. I remember this being quite a hard listen to when you've got that many people talking, and I think it's one of them ones which they're not sitting in a group. I think someone's even going, the director, Chuck Russell. So, just looking for my mask. So yeah, find himself a mask. It's got a bit of a shine to it. Wubba wubba. I love the music in this. It's really good music in this. Did watch a Truman Show recently as well. I really enjoyed that. And Eternal Sunrise of the Spotless Mind, I think, is my favourite Jim Carrey movie. Just absolutely unbelievable, that movie. That's one I've got on my list to buy on Blu-ray. It's been a couple of times I've almost bought it. Just looking for my mask. Ipkiss. It's like the thing with Jim Carrey, I was getting, yes, Satan. And he's got the snoop around in Ace Ventura. There's always the problem with the landlords. What? So as he gets ready to go to bed and watch some wacky cartoons and how I did and dream, I've just picked up The Mask Returns, which is quite a smaller book. Took me ages to track this one down. Just has a really creepy looking mask on the cover with that Frankenstein guy in the background. This one is in a lot better condition. Chapter 1, let's have a look there. Now it follows, does it follow? I think it does follow the detective, who's basically, he follows the detective who we follow at the end of the movie, Lieutenant, and basically by the third page he is shot and killed in his basement. He's killed off straight away, and it gets passed on, the mask gets passed on to a group of gangsters, and the mask goes absolutely crazy, kills everybody in the car, takes a picture, hits himself in the face. It's brilliant there. Yeah, that's great, that would knock that. The dog's class name. Meanwhile in prison, many miles away, Walter, that's who we're on about, becomes a claim. Walter is the big Sandman looking guy from Death Warrant. Meanwhile there's a lot of new characters, and especially a long haired red guy who's got the mask underneath pulling his face off. Some great imagery in here. There's even a bit where he's got an atom bomb and blows everyone up. It's pretty grim. He's even dressed as a knight at one time. Reminds me of that knight you used to get in I don't know, it was the Beano the Dandy. Guy on the telly there as well is probably the only guy to appear. He appears in the sequel as well. Trying to think what film as well he appears. Oh, Bueller. He's the teacher in Ferris Bueller. Yes, he's running around with a knight on archery. Oh, meanwhile, Catherine's back in it, and so is the other detective, and it looks like the other guy isn't dead. He's actually on the thing, as the mask is also on the run. Chapter 2 sees more carnage go down. This is essentially what the Mask sequel could have been, as we're about to get the first mask in there. He's playing with his ukulele on there. But yeah, here comes the first thing, and it's like zoom. Again, the time CGI kicking in. It's mint CGI. So well done. You don't even get the, you know what I mean? It's just mintly done that. Whizzing around, you've got the Taz quilt, you've got the flash of skulls. He's scaling out to him. Somebody. That's smoking. So yeah. It's really well done. I mean, makeup effects as well. It's just so uber green. And the walk as well. And I love how the music changes as well, and it's got the trumpet manager. So yeah. Meanwhile, back in the book, he's dressed as an American football player, goes nuts in a cafe. There's a couple of scenes on the beach back at the hospital. There's having sex with the mask. Catherine in this way is terrified as the gangs try to come after her, and she once again becomes the mask by the end of chapter 2. Check out the mallet and the clock, man. I remember the video game on the NES, man, when you build up your powers and then you brought out the mallet. Meanwhile, in the book, someone's beheaded as there's a tribal dance going on here, and the mask is swapping people's heads. They're in the jungle. I think there might be a second mask here as he goes flying out and smack. Look, man, I'm roadkill. This totally reminded me of Roger Rabbit though, when the evil Dr. Doom. Is it Dr. Doom? Doom, Judge Doom. He comes up there, it's pretty creepy. And the whole other thing as well, the beep the horn bit. It's almost like the Men in Black with the small gun joke. Small but loud. So yeah, that Walter guy starts self-harming in prison, and there's a massive 2-page spread of Walter cutting his scars into his face, which is proper brutal. And even flows blood in the interviewer's face. There's a massive explosion and people getting, like, some really gruesome pictures of people getting blown up. That's just how they're going down here. Again, no, this is again It's got a lot of Batman and Robin and Batman Forever kind of neon colours going on there. It's just, you know, it's done in that comic book-esque thing, you know. Because a lot of people give Blade a lot of credit for like comic books, but this is a comic book film, you know what I mean? Yeah, as you just know, this isn't originally like part of his. Looks like the detective's going to wake up as the other detective is killed by Walter. Walter's just a menacing big guy. Balloon dog, I've got one of them hands. No, the other detective isn't dead because he's in this next scene. I'm just getting so confused. Meanwhile, Walter gives the girl a good absolute beating as the mask. He can't kill her. She keeps getting away. She finally reveals herself the mask, and she's just invincible as the mask. Even the bit with this being a PG, and he pulls a condom out and he's like, oh sorry, wrong pocket. I mean, that was like, right, this should have been a 12. Well, it is a 12 now actually, but it's a PG on VHS. Ace Ventura is one of the very first 12 movies I'd ever seen, along with like Police Academy Mission in Moscow. But yeah, it's a 12 on DVD and a PG on VHS. You just unloads. These magic powers I could become. So yeah, the Lieutenant Carrey survives the hospital, so he's not killed off in the first few pages. Meanwhile, the girlfriend and Walter are just continuing having a massive battle. Walter's got mother tattooed on there, getting chased around with a fucking flamethrower. Yeah, they almost battle to death. Burning building, Walter actually gets ran over. Boom into the dock. Saved by the lieutenant character as well, and the car sinks, so it's just been left open. It doesn't say the mask returns, but yeah. As Jim Carrey as the mask there goes into the Ghostbusters house again and wreaks havoc. Yeah. Rant. So that's what the sequel could have been like. You know, there's no pajamas or anything like that. Ipkiss isn't, you know, Ipkiss is killed off halfway through the first book, so. It's all a dream. I love how he's got all the wacky little characters laying around as models as well. Too many cartoons. Deadbolt and everything. Ipkiss. Disturbance. So it's bank holiday, and every time I do a podcast I'm always hungry by the end of it, so I'm hoping the Chinese is open tonight, but I went past last night and it wasn't open, and I came back and cooked all my pasta up, so yeah. The pyjamas are the giveaway though, so it's got the deaf ear and all that kind of stuff. So we will hit IMDB for this and see what's going down. So it's great to revisit this as a podcast. I'm totally not prepared for it. I said I did revisit the commentary, but in commentary tracks on the first, I should have realised I've got the cell there as well, but you know, it was a very fucking creepy film. Quite an interesting commentary, like. It was late. Late. 1994. So yeah, Jim, one of the films I think needs bringing back out on DVD, and you know, you can forsakingly namesake the names on the box. Earth Girls are easy. Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis, Jim Carrey, Damon Wayans, and it's about 3 aliens that come to Earth. He plays Whiplock, and it's all about like aliens in Beverly Hills, and it's fucking brilliant, the movie. Doesn't get enough credit. Once Bitten as well was a really good film. We'll hit the trivia here. We'll hit crazy credits first, because there's a lot of crazy. Rip off Ghostbusters, what do you want? When the credits have finished, some jazz drumming is heard. Then a familiar sound of the mask is heard of yo yo yo, which is a drawn voice. The sound of the mask is spinning away, head straight after. So apparently there's something at the end of the credits which I didn't know about. She is very much like the same character as in Audrey in Godzilla. A lot of the money was saved on special effects after Jim Carrey was cast. His body movements were so flexible, cartoonish, they didn't see the need to digitally enhance him. The oversized teeth of the masked character were originally be used only during silent scenes. However, Jim Carrey learned to talk with them and make his character that much more wackier. A lot of the moments. The part when Jim Carrey is being chased by the gangsters and pulls out a condom out of his pocket and says, "Sorry, wrong pocket," was improvised by Jim Carrey. Banana yellow suit Jim Carrey wears is based on the suit that his mother made him for his first attempt at stand-up comedy. The nightclub at Copacabana where the mask goes in the movie is the Majestic. Oh, it's the same nightclub as the Majestic. Another Jim Carrey is also the name of the nightclub Jim Carrey in Cancun, Mexico. Whatever. Prior to Cameron Diaz, interior shot of the garage, lip kiss gets ripped, and the mechanics is the same firehouse. It's Ghostbusters. One thing attached Jim Carrey to the project more than anything else was Stanley Ipkiss was much like him and a huge fan of cartoons. Cameron Diaz's singing voice is dubbed by Susan Boyle. That is got to be wrong. So it's IMDB monitor there, fucking. Oh, it's fucking genius, that. Well done, whoever put that on IMDb. Cameron Diaz had 12 auditions for Tina before landing the road 7 days before shooting. This was Cameron Diaz's first role. Jim Carrey based his character, friend Mike, the mask. Original script ideas of Stanley Ipkiss was to meet the street gang later, encounters the mask. The film rewrites Dark Horse Comics series of the same name, which is frequently compared to the very dark, very hard. They were going to New Line were wanting to do sort of like they wanted a new franchise like Jason and all that, and the mask, but it could have been that bit brutal. Jim Carrey was paid $450,000 for his work on the film, a huge bargain for New Line because the deal he signed for Ace Ventura became a surprise hit, made the mask a hot property of the summer 2000 schedule. Jim Carrey inked a $7 million before the film opened to star in Dumb and Dumber. Wow. The mask, camcorder, you need it. There's a lot of crap on here. Like, has a mask vision. Jim Carrey just improvised Dirty Harry in the film. Yeah, there's a lot of I just need to put that on the movie group there. There's a vast Peggy and another love interest. I watched Dumb and Dumber not long ago as well. I really like Dumb and Dumber. Personal number. So yeah, I'm one of them. She drops the clanger there, but yeah, she's going to stab him in the back. Like a red hair. It's the evil boss. It's like a Dark Man. He was obsessed. Robert Durant was obsessed with golf as well. It's that time, the 90s, where the mullets were out and everyone grew in ponytails. tee off in that face, fucking hell. Huh. Yeah. But that's quite hard to do, actually. Is that a putter? That's nice. That would knock that, like, imagine getting nipped in the nose. Fucking golf club in the nose. Street style. He's been in quite a lot of films. He's in he's in Under Siege 2, isn't he? He's one of the henchmen in Under Siege 2. I think he is, anyway. I'm getting another dream with the Yip Kisser. God, he's quite low down the fucking cast. Is he that low? No, he's not there. Peter Green, Dorian. 52 years old. Oh, he's in Pulp Fiction as well. Oh yeah, he's the I should say the curious copper, isn't he? So he's in Pulp Fiction. I haven't seen him in anything for a while. Definitely is, I mean, it's a big role for him, like. So yeah, to start acting, this is, to be honest with you, right, he was in Judgment Night with Emilio Estevez, which is a really good film, and The Mask is his fifth film. Then he did Pulp Fiction, Under Siege 2, Usual Suspects. So he had a really good run, but then everything after that just seems like low budget. He is in Training Day years later, but everything else just looks, all the covers just like low budget back end stuff. So he definitely had his moment, like, at this time. A big role for him. The only other person that took me interest there was Richard Jane. He died in 2007. Let's have a look why. I'm sure he shot himself. He said he died on the 10th of March 2007. I'm sure he's known for the Rask. Yeah. See, he's a good comedian, like, some really funny stuff, yeah, but suicide by shotgun, yeah, shot himself in the head. That's him, like. He's got some really funny skits on YouTube, like, especially Jaws 4. It's fucking priceless, that. Let's have a look at else what's going down. Many goofs, as The Mask has returned. As he gets ready. Give Jim Carrey credit for talking with teeth like that in his mouth. The size of them fucking teeth. So again here as well, it's class editing. Class editing and cross sound effects. Monkey. I keep fucking getting all the quotes wrong, whatever. Edge City Savings. I guess into save. A doctor. They're going to rob a bank with no masks on. Do you know what I mean? Through the front door. Could shock this as well. That over here catches the money. I don't know their tactic of trying to rob the bank there with no masks on, like, so whatever. Couple of gunshots there as well. It's a diddly diddly diddly. Yeah, it says the limo man. It's clever though. It looks like a massive long limo, but obviously all they did was cut in the middle and go back a bit. Are you on the list? No. Just left all that money in the car. Ba-dum bum 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 bum. Oh, that's a good dumb voice. I love Cameron Diaz in Very Bad Things with Christian Slater. That is a fucking truly awesome movie. It's such a big cast as well. Doobie. Ooby dooby doo. Doo-doo. So like, again though, it's like heavy trailer stuff, but then some of the like it's one of those movies where scenes like this here, like the whole tongue and all that, was in all the trailers and all the adverts because it looks amazing. But then stuff with like the bad guy and the dog and all that's just in, you know, just extra gold, you know what I mean? It didn't have to overexpose itself. I mean, when we were at the pictures last night to see the Meg, like the trailer for Predator came on, like, get in. And it was like, what the fuck? Shane Black was like talking to us, hang on a minute. This isn't a trailer. You're like, hang on, this is like a sales pitch to come and see the movie. And it was the same thing with Idris Elba later on when he was his new film. I was just like, what happened to like teaser trailers and fucking trailers you only see at the pictures? Why am I watching like a 10-minute making of a film where you show me what the story's going to be and like the big reveals and stuff? What are you doing? What's that about? So funny. It's so, I love that, the noise there, the plank of wood noise. Plank of wood noise, you know what I mean. It's this bit here. Dun, 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 dun. Just get you going. I'm bouncing on my seat right now. Yeah, big music, big music. I probably have to quite talk through this bit so I didn't pick up the register on that. So it is quite a, you know, great dance. Hey, what do you want? Damn. Here the dancing's mint. It's spinning around there. Whoop, better stop there. But it's that whole throwback thing, that whole Dick Tracy, that Hoodlum. I'm trying to think, whatever, like these really big popular clubs. You just don't get that over here, you know what I mean? Sit down drinkings and stuff like that. Just you just don't get that at all. I mean, I'm not a big go out and castle kind of guy, like, but around here now, it's like entertainment, you know, house bands. Roger Rabbit's the same. The bit where Donald Duck and Daffy Duck are fucking battling out, it's the same kind of sit down, but that is one of the best scenes in cinema history. Daffy Duck and Donald Duck fighting it out, and then Jessica Rabbit comes along, you know. Watching he dies as well here. Little thing there, don't smoke, you might die. Who did it, man? Who did it? This happens to be him in the window. Lick the rose. Hey, what you want? Hey, what you do? So this bit's a bit strange. What is that about? Choreographed dancing and all that. I don't know. This bit as well. You don't really need that bit. So could anyone else do the mask? No. Definitely. I think Jamie Kennedy as well, because he had the big hair and stuff, and you know. Slip with them lips and the shoes fly off, man. It's fucking close. Huh? Yeah, the guy, see the guy still dancing in the background. What's that about? Okay, Twinkle Toes. Fucking hell, like tax cut and all that. In Britain we don't have that. We just like, you get your paycheck and you go, right, look at all that money going. The same in America, you pay tax and everything, man. Toro. Thank you very much. That's really funny Elvis bit, like. They say, like, in the comic books before, he is known to be dressing up in loads of different costumes and all that, so they brought that in. But it's cool that he's wearing that, like, because it's there, do you know what I mean? It's pretty cool. It's the award thing as well, it's quite funny. Tell Tony to him. Whoa. My friend friend Britt there said, isn't the dog called Milo in it? I'm like, yeah, like Milo the cat. Then I can hear a dog barking next door. Do you hear that? He gets the award. I have new neighbours. They're from California. Woof woof woof. Just going to check to see if the takeaway is open, like. Lee's fattening takeaway. Tropic Terrell. I love the waterfall. I love the falling sound of water. Supreme takeaway. Oh, less takeaway. Damn it, fucking. So I don't know if I've said this before. I might have told in the last podcast or whatever. Recently, my phone's been ringing people on like Messenger and all that. My phone just rings. Yes, the takeaway's open. And I was in the DIY shop the other day. It's a really creepy DIY shop. And I think I have told the story actually, but basically, I was looking around. It was very dark and very dingy, and all I heard is, "Do you need help there?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for knives and forks and some like carpet grips." And then it was like a long awkward pause, and then this voice went, "Sir, this is for emergency calls only." And it was then I realised my phone had 4999 in my pocket. You know what I mean? I was like, "Fuck's sake, man!" For all that fucking money. Took Milo. Fucking hell, cops knocking on your door like that. Just let yourself in. I've seen that Jim Carrey's new film is a Dark Crimes is out as well. It's a more dark mystery thriller. Something I'm definitely going to pick up. Didn't get a Blu-ray release in the UK though. It's pretty grim that happened. My dog is called Mile Away. I couldn't sleep in like pyjamas like that. I'm sitting here in pyjama bottoms, but I wouldn't wear a fucking like pyjama top like that. It's a funny dog that like. Get the CCTV footage going now. Even the background score there as well, it's quite, you know, it's a really good score. This guy here as well is very much like Proctor in Police Academy, but it's not Proctor. So there you go, more money. Just trying to see if there's any surprising cameos in this. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, smoking's a lot of smoking in here for a PG as well. It's a very edgy PG, it's probably why it is now a 12. But normally you get like, become a 12 because of like commentaries and stuff like that, so. I mean, Jim Carrey must have got offered quite a bit for Mask too if he was going to be in it, but. Let's see what it says about. He's about to kick off with the boss. Huh? Snapped. So the Mask was 11 years after the original. Got 2.2 on IMDB. Wow, it's hated. It is really hated. Even if it brings in the God of Mischief low-key is Alan Cumming as well. Let's have a look on the trivia for that. Film critic admitted that this year's co-host in this film was close to what almost walked out. Plans for the sequel to Mask 2 were in the works for years before the film. Nintendo Power magazine held a contest. I remember this, it's on a couple of videos. The first prize was a walk-in role on the movie. The project was cancelled and Nintendo Power issued a public apology for the contest winner in their final issue. Years later, the winner was revealed to be Nathan Ryan Rook from Atlas, Maryland. The film was technically on hold, so Rook had chosen the role or money. Merchandise. Rook, who was 12 at the time, chose the money and received £5,000, a film crew jacket which he later lost, 7 Nintendo video games including Power Wing 64 and the N64. He later claimed it was the absolute right call, so there again. I do remember seeing that because I think it was on Angry Gamer Nerd. He's actually got the Nintendo Power magazine. Jim Carrey was asked to reprise his role as Stanley Ipkiss and accepted. He quit once he read the script, knowing that the movie would be a failure. When asked to agree to do the film, Jamie Kennedy responded, "Give me 2.5 million reasons." Jack Black turned down the role. I would have liked to see Jack Black in The Mask. Alan Cumming claimed working on this film with Attack of the Mask and The Curse of the Mask. Jim Carrey reportedly hated this in time when Sydney filmed the movie. Hardly anyone recognised him in public, and he repeatedly turned down local women in bars who had no idea who he was. Comes from heavily praised, yeah. The character demise reference. Chuck Norris was asked to direct the sequel but turned it down because Jim Carrey wouldn't do it. So yeah. So they had Jim Carrey's interest but couldn't pull the script together. Do I even have that? I definitely don't have it, I don't think. Bueller. He reprises his role. I'm sure he gets his face taken off or something by Loki. Bueller. I love his like stale reaction to the whole like put it on, he's dancing around, he's just like stares at him. You book. He did bow tie on there as well. 10-year anniversary with loads of extras. Deleted scenes. I actually got given this on DVD off Sluggy as well. I think Sluggy bought the Blu-ray, came in. I was like, oh yeah, I'll have that. Unlike Casper, Casper sells his DVDs, and Paul Ray's normally in there like Scrooge McDuck and his fucking money thing and DuckTales. That's quite funny, that like. Ooh, Bueller. 2.2 on IMDb. Fuck me. God of mischief. Fours, bro. It's quite a lot big role for him, like Bueller. Sorry. Oh my god, I just kicked my Mega Drive. Poor Mega Drive. I created this new shelf in front of my telly. N64, Super Nintendo and Mega Drive 1 all stacked up on VHS's. Sort of the leads out all in the telly and stuff like that, so yeah. So yeah. So I think we're well over halfway through the movie. As I say, I really did enjoy this on Blu-ray. Colours were awesome. But once I watched it on Blu-ray, I wasn't something I was going to pick up as we're at Landfield Park. This has some good skits and coming in here. The bit where he says freeze, it's really good as well. But again, looking at the blues, that's really cool. Then we're about to have that massive big take on I'll be winding it down here because they come out to have that. She is amazingly lush, like. You got fucking Northern Lights going on there. It's almost again though the whole thing with like the whole like it almost feels like it exists in the same world as Batman Forever. No, that's a good call. Let's say Anaconda. The Cell was there, but I mean, The Cell's a very dark fucking movie. I don't know what I would be like talking about a podcast with a guy. Well, I'm talking about now the guy hanging above a dead corpse, toying with himself. It could set up some weird fucking rants that. But I've been trying to think what the next series would be. I looked at Tremors before, and Turtles as well. Going crazy as a French guy. Also King Kong Lives. I've been looking, but then just pick this up. It goes full on French mode. There was a skit on Saturday Night Live not long ago with Jim Carrey, and the Mask and the Riddle are all back in it as well. That was really cool. When everyone was impersonating him, it was really funny. Even there with the little CGI, the heart and the... Freeze, I love this bit. That's really, really funny. Alright, unfreeze. Well, it was me. It's the one-armed man. Such a fucking wacky character. Could watch Dumb and Dumber because I actually got Dumb and Dumber. I've never owned it. I don't know. I picked it up quite cheap, I think. The uncut version. Could watch that and point out what's different uncut about it, but that looks like Adam Sandler's mate as well. The one who's it is. Oh, there was the old guy. Always talks Dave Crunky like that. That's who that is. Nice trap. Stress ball. Bazooka. I have a permit for that. Callaway. What? 555. You married her. This bit's really funny as well, boarding up the door. It sounds like a fucking chisel, but just a hammer. That's really cool as well. And we get another song and dance. Fucking maracas, man. Everyone keeps start dancing and that. Give him, yeah, jim bum. That's it. So that's the fucking Congolese, man. Just the maracas just go flying and smashing. It's something great. Definitely shot on the back lot, this, like. Fucking hell, Three Ninjas is on the fucking cinema. What's that got connection to this movie? Let's have a look. Free fucking surf ninjas? No, it's surf ninjas. Need an IMDB that. Same director, maybe. Surf ninjas. I wonder what that's about. Surf Ninjas was 1983, the year before. Rob Schneider was in that as well. Neil, Dave Gordon, Sega game, portable game, yeah, and that. The original film was called Surf Ninja Warriors. So it's not even on IMDB that the Surf Ninjas poster is on at the movies. So there we go. That's why I watch the podcast. I do pay attention. He does a runner. Everyone's fucking dancing away. He masks himself as well. Yeah, we're about to run on the last end of this movie. As if Kiss is fucking lost opening fire there. There's no one else around as well. We all missed him. The mask robs the bank. Police score the city. In dun, 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 dun. Game with that blue in the background looks awesome. She looks like the last one problem child. No. Talk about the red herring joke, man. And it's about the end of the movie as well, cause last scene as well. You just put it on. Oh, that's it. He doesn't actually. It's not the end of the film. I'll shut up. He gets dumped at the cops, and then Milo helps him escape, doesn't he? And Dark Cloud. He probably looks evil as fuck as well. He's probably like on proper rides, like something out of Dick Tracy. Fucking red eyes and the spiky teeth. Look at that neck, man. He's just riding it up. I mean, he keeps the hair though. You know. He keeps the hair, but Jim Carrey's character doesn't. See, a lot of this though looks like it has been shot in the back lot as well. Around that area, you know, just the way they've got all the houses lit and all that kind of stuff. There's Milo the dog. Run, hide, Milo. My little dog. I got my goldfish all. I'm just looking up there, checking on my goldfish. Not swimming around much, like. I don't know what that's about. Dog of the rescue. See, I did laugh a few times at the sequel with the dog and the baby. Fucking go, little whippet snapper. The lip is gonna fall right on my lap. At the moment, I've just finished a demo edit for 1408 fast forward review, and it was filmed over a year ago in Spain. And Chris Davies has always been in there to be written in. I've known Chris about 15 years. He's just saying there, here's my fun fact for you. I've known you 15 years to start being your fucking video. So, get ready for Chris Davies to make an appearance in fast forward reviews finally. That's made a jiggle. See, even look at that blue on the wall. That would break my heart, that. Knowing that your dog was out there and you were locked away. Hi, Stanley. Again, yeah. It's got a lot of heart. You really think that he's going to fall in love with the other one, so it just throw you the wrong way, like. She's very like, saying the Catherine character in the book. She's just got her hair all tied back and all that, and she just goes on a mad killing spree. Big role for her, like. A lot of auditions, though. Do. A long scene, this, like. Wait for him wanting to escape. Let's go still going. Oh, nearly got his kiss and look what happened. Gutted. Edge City Police. And she gets kidnapped as well. So 6.9 on IMDb for The Mask. She's going to get kidnapped. So film locations were fire station Los Angeles. Fucking really, I always thought that fire station was in fucking New York. The Ambassador Hotel, California. Coco Bongo nightclub, California. It's all pretty much California. Crazy Gas, we've been on that one. Quotes. Smoking. Of course, that would be the first one. So yeah, Milo. So that's pretty cool, that. Cast members. Loaner car mechanic. Jim Carrey bears a strong resemblance to Dick York, who plays the mine banker and Penny for Your Thoughts. Customers. Hello. That fucking dog just jumped. She's running for her life. Tracking down a girl on the back streets. What's that about? Oosh. Sounds on the creepiness like. I don't know, people get in relationships like that. This slow motion jump. I love it how there's just an open window in the jailhouse in the street. There's something like noir about that. Super smart dog as well. Got the fucking cheese. Even the cheese, the holes in the cheese, it's proper cartoonish. God, I couldn't get my cat to do that either. Great dog training that though. Even the skull kicks in great as well. Danger, explosives. Yes, box of dynamite between your legs. Hi. Gun will be unpopped. Right in the back of the neck. Jim Carrey was also in Deadpool, Dirty Harry movie as well. Peggy Sue Got Married. Worked a little comedy club as well. Outstanding performance of Man on the Moon. Milo. What the fuck? I definitely, yeah, we all running down to the last bit now. Get the evil mask back. Really cool, like. Back to the Coco Bongo. Oh, come baby, come baby, baby, come, come. Now there's a 90s track for you. It's a really good song there as well. We got a casino night, money going there. There's Charlie again. Chatting everyone up. Oh, is that she's up, come baby now. It's either one of them two. I have a big entrance by the new bad mask, taking out the old dog. Storms in. A dog popping up there as well. Dorian? Come with the payback and he gets his mates to shoot him. He's got all that. Sucking up all the bullets. He's bulletproof. Insane that, like. Again, there's no great effect that you get almost forget about because it's not heavily done in the trails or anything like that. Bit of dog love going on there. Yeah. There's that dog next door. Woof. Daddy's gonna go and kick someone else. I was thinking there I'll order my takeaway, but I've given out my address on the fucking podcast already now. She looks lovely in that. It's a lot of cash. I just love the whole waterfall thing, innit? sticks of dynamite. Charlie would have to be then. Dorian, bang bang. I'm not sure about his sideboards he still got there. What's that about? They're quite funny. It's 10 minutes. I'm not counting that down. Casino nights. Super smart dog's about to escape. Milo to the rescue. A curse. Creepy that. A curse. Kiss. The dog's probably kicking off next door. You can hear it. That CGI tongue it's the weakest bit so far, I think. The red eyes, they probably creepy as fuck, like. And she kicks it out of his hand. Maybe she should have done that before the kiss. And here comes the super surprise. There's no one can catch it. Except for the dog. Super dog that, like. Here comes the dog. I'm going to transform. Class bit of film this. I've actually got a little. I want to actually try and put this as an outtake. Pencil heads. I've still got the dog one from 1994. Great reaction by that actor. Dorian gets completely whipped by Ipkiss, like. One minute 40 seconds left. See, the dog's taking a piss on the guy. And here comes a massive oosh. And of course, in comedy fashion, he hits the jackpot. Guy gets his pants ripped off by Milo. He's got the spike collar and everything. And he has one last thing, but he has to 1 minute become the mask one more time. What happened to that fucking drum there? That's weird. Gangster. Great skip. It's a proper Clint Eastwood stare, that. Bang, 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 Stone Cold Steve Austin. So the mask is invincible. Again, that CGI, it's a little bit weak compared to the rest. Especially Dorian gets up. With a little knife. Woof. This guy's incorrigible. Hi. Paints the flush. That just looks like an awesome jacuzzi, that. I would gladly lie in there for hours. So he's... And that is the last of the mask. Falls, still didn't get that kiss. He's really... definitely check out Richard Jennings' stand-up for Jaws 4. It's really good. Getting locked up. The landlord's there for some reason. What's that about? Whee! Saved by the mayor. The dog alone. It's almost like Harris and Proctor. That's what that, you know. Police Academy. They've got the car, new bridge. That must be Charlie's car. So he wants to chuck the mask away. So it leaves it half open because the dog goes chasing after it, don't it? She throws it away. And Milo and Charlie are going to have a race off for it. Great stunt that as well. I think this looks lush. Finally gets that kiss. Freeze frames, kind of. So yeah, I love the font. Again, with the font as well, it's quite noir kind of font. Featuring Jim Carrey, Richard Jennings, Cameron Diaz is the last credit as well. Supporting cast in alphabetical order as well. Like Jesus. So yeah, Robert, Louis, Daniel, James, Jeremy, Wendy, and Max as Milo the dog. Oh, yeah. Just looking to see if there's a Jeff. Is there a Jeff? So yeah, dancers. So yeah, I just want to see what that guy was on about. So whoever it was on IMDB were doing the font. Sorry, doing the font. Talking about the drums at the end. Obviously, there's music playing over the top of it, and I'll quickly fill in that bit of memorabilia I've got from the original 94. I think they're not rubbers. They used to just put stuff in the pencil cases. I don't know if he came out with cereal or something like that, but he's always been in this room. So I said I've got them comics handy as well, so I'll show you them. Yeah, I haven't even been looking if there's a Jeff there. Just ranting away. I'm hungry now. Greg, Steve, Bert, Peter, Scott, Ronald, Francesco, Richard, Travis, Ruffy. Oh, Jeffrey D. Selferan. There's a Jeffrey D. Jeffrey Hill. There's a Jeffrey Hill there as well. So there we go. Good old Jeffrey joke. Griff. Hollywood Dave. Okay. Tony Bear. Some crazy credits here. So yeah, kind of classics. Mike Menzer, Matthew, Madison, Eddie, Carlos, Terry, Anthony, Michael, Karma, Cast, Barbara, Nancy, Deborah, Christopher, Anne, Tri, Sydney, Sharon, Keegan, Lauren, Tim, Scott, Miles, Sylvia, Steve, Animals of Distinction, Steve, Joe, Stephen, Jeremy, Digital Sounds, Craig, Carl, Stephen Williams, Harry, Harry Woolway, Jim, Joe. There's a Jeff Vaughan. And Jeff Vaughan's got 2 credits as well. It's a Foley expert. Yeah, it's going on for a while. Paul Rodriguez mixed and recorded in Lucasfilm as well. New Line music executive, scored by the Irish Film Orchestra. So yeah, scored and mixed by Elton R. So yeah, music's really good in this film. Visual effects by Steve Praz Williams. It's Spaz actually, it's the way the S is. Special effects computer animation by Industrial Light and Magic. Didn't realise that. Computer graphics, virtual sequences. There's a lot of space between these fonts coming up, you know. You guys are still watching, listening. Jeff Taylor, Sonia, Rob, Barbara, Habit. What a weird name that is. Habit. What's your name, Habit? Randall, Mike, George, John, Lisa, Martin, Kim, Robert Hill, Robert Patrick, Timothy, Robert, Carl, David, Jeffrey with a G, Jeff, Nancy, Marissa, Susie, Edwin, Duncan, Pamela, John, Elizabeth, Jeff Mann. That was a Jeff Mann. Dream Quest Images, John Farrat. A lot of space. Robert, Tim, Jeff Burks, Jeff Betty. There's a few Jeffs in it. Jeff, which one? We need Jeff, which one? I'm trying to get closer to the screen so I can hear whatever this thing on IMDb was on about. Lee Tucker, filmed in Pandarajam, This has got to be the end. Additional production equipment, additional and gallery provided, post log, post payroll by media services, prints by film house, colour, clips from Red Hot Riding Hood performed by Turner Entertainment. Special thanks to soundtrack available on Chaos Dimensions, Columbia Records, soundtrack exclusive of Columbia Records. Special horn arrangements by The Business of Love. Call Repeat, Only You, Business of Love, Let the Good Times Roll, Hey Poncho, Who's That Man, You Wanna Be My Baby, Bounce Around, Hardy Hardy-O. That's that song I was on about before. It wasn't Come Baby Come Baby Baby Come Come. This thing based on the characters appearing in Dark Horse Comics, copyrighted, American characters, identities, ownership, digital experience, film number, released by Newland Cinema. That's what they're on about on IMDB. Fuck knows what that is. That's what they're on about hidden. So yeah. Right, so I've been Stephen Mason. I'm going to say bye from this podcast, and it's going to quickly cut to an outtake with that mask toy. So here is what I'm talking about. There's Milo. They are the graphic novels 1 and 2 there. That's what I was on about before, me N64 and PlayStations. Copyrighted 1995. So yeah, I've had that for absolutely ages. Pencil goes in there. It's not a rubber, but it's cool to have displayed as well. So yeah, I've been Stephen Mason. This will be the end of the Mask podcast. Hope you like, share and subscribe. Thanks for listening and watching this bit for now. Goodbye.